Jai Gurudev and Namaste, and thank you for joining us today. Ekadashi is a deeply spiritual day in the Hindu tradition celebrated 24 times throughout the year. Could you please explain the essence of Ekadashi and its importance from a Vedic perspective? Namaste and Jai Gurudev, and thank you for having me. Yes, Ekadashi holds great spiritual significance in Hinduism, and it is observed on the 11th day of both the waxing and waning phases of the moon in the Hindu lunar calendar. The word Ekadashi translates to 11th, referring to the day falling on the 11th lunar day. It is especially dedicated to Lord Vishnu, the preserver of the universe, and is seen as a time to cleanse the body, mind, and soul. The Vedas and Upanishads describe Ekadashi as an auspicious day that helps us in our journey towards spiritual purification and self realization. It is a day for devotion, reflection, fasting, and spiritual discipline. Fasting on Ekadashi is believed to assist in overcoming the temptations and desires of the material world and to reconnect us to our divine nature. That's very profound. Could you elaborate on the practice of fasting during Ekadashi and what are its spiritual and physical benefits? Yes, Ekadashi fasting is an essential practice on this sacred day, and it comes with many benefits, both spiritual and physical. Spirituality and health are intricately intertwined in the practice of fasting, and this day serves as an opportunity for both purification and rejuvenation. Spiritually, fasting on Ekadashi helps devotees disconnect from the distractions of daily life and focus on the divine. By abstaining from grains and sometimes even from food and water, the practitioner develops self discipline, gains control over desires, and surrenders to God. It also facilitates the practice of dhyana or meditation and enhances one's connection with Lord Vishnu. Physically, fasting supports the body's natural detoxification process. When you refrain from food, especially grains, your digestive system gets a chance to rest and regenerate. The body uses this time to remove accumulated toxins and restore balance. Additionally, fasting helps in regulating blood sugar levels, lowering cholesterol, and improving digestion and supporting healthy weight management. In the modern scientific world, fasting on Ekadashi is associated with autophagy, a process where the body breaks down and recycles old and damaged cells, which promotes cellular repair and rejuvenation. This is why fasting is increasingly being studied for its potential anti aging and anti disease benefits. It's amazing how fasting has both physical and spiritual dimensions. Could you tell us about the different types of fasting observed on Ekadashi? There are various forms of fasting depending on one's health capacity and spiritual goals. The most stringent form is the Nirjala Ekadashi, where one refrains from both food and water, which is said to be the most effective in terms of spiritual benefits. Another form of fasting is Falahar, where only fruits, vegetables, and non grain foods are consumed. Some people choose to have one meal during the day or may abstain from eating altogether, except for light foods like milk or fruit. The type of fasting one chooses is ultimately based on personal health, spiritual readiness, and the level of dedication they wish to bring to the fast. However, the common thread in all these practices is the intention of purifying the body and mind to focus on devotion and spiritual growth. Now, moving on to Ekadashi Homam, could you explain this ritual and how it complements the fasting practice? Yes, Ekadashi Homam is a sacred fire ritual that is performed to invoke Lord Vishnu's blessings to purify the environment. The home involves offering sacred materials such as ghee, grains, and medicinal herbs to a consecrated fire where chanting powerful Vedic mantras. The fire is considered a medium that connects us to the divine, and the offering symbolizes the surrender of our worldly attachments and desires. This homam complements the fasting practice by intensifying the purifying effect. The combination of fasting and fire rituals accelerates the cleansing process of the mind and body. The sacred vibrations created by the chanting of mantras, along with the offerings into the fire, purify the atmosphere, bring peace, and invoke divine grace. At the Vedic Dhamma Sansthan, the homams are performed with great devotion, with the participation of the community guided by trained priests and spiritual leaders. The Ekadashi Homam is not only about material offerings but also about surrendering the ego, which aligns perfectly with the purpose of fasting. It sounds like a very powerful ritual. I understand that the Ekadashi Homam has also been conducted under the presence of His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji. Could you tell us about these homams, particularly those performed at the Pratap Ganapati temple in Gurukul? Yes, indeed, the presence of His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji during Ekadashi Homams magnifies the spiritual experience. His Holiness has always emphasized that rituals are not just external acts but must be performed with the right intention and consciousness. The Ekadashi Homams at the Pratapa Ganapati Temple in Gurukul under His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji's guidance are especially impactful due to his deep spiritual wisdom and energy. During these homams, Gurudev leads the participation in chanting mantras, offering prayers, and performing the fire rituals. His presence enhances the experience, infusing it with deep peace and devotion. The emphasis is not only on the ritualistic aspects but on the importance of inner transformation, cultivating gratitude, and focusing on self realization. At these homums, devotees come together in a collective spiritual atmosphere that is filled with positive energies. The environment in the temple, along with Gurudev's teachings, helps the participants dive deep into meditation, contemplation, and self purification. The homam in Gurukul is truly a holistic experience incorporating physical, mental, and spiritual healing. It's incredible to know how profound the presence of His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji is during such rituals. Could you also talk about the scientific benefits of fasting and how they align with modern research on health? Yes, the scientific benefits of fasting on Ekadashi are closely aligned with what we see in modern research on health. As mentioned earlier, fasting triggers the process of autophagy, which is the body's way of cleaning out damaged cells. This is important for overall health, including immune function and longevity. Studies have shown that fasting helps in reducing the risk of chronic conditions like diabetes, heart disease, and obesity by improving insulin sensitivity, lowering blood sugar levels, and reducing inflammation. Fasting also promotes better digestion and gives the digestive system time to rest. In Ayurveda, fasting is seen as a way to reset the Agni or the digestive fire, which is essential for maintaining good health. The practice of fasting on Ekadashi is a natural way to enhance the body's detoxification process and promote mental clarity and emotional well being. Furthermore, fasting has been shown to increase the production of brain derived neurotrophic factor BDNF, which helps improve brain function, even may support the growth of new neurons. This is why many people feel more mentally clear and focused during fasting. The integration of scientific principles with the ancient tradition of Ekadashi fasting demonstrate that the practice is not just a spiritual one but a holistic approach to well being. The connection between ancient traditions and modern science is truly remarkable. Do you have any final message about the practice of Ekadashi and its significance? My final message would be that Ekadashi is more than just a ritual or a day of fasting. It's an opportunity to connect with the divine, purify the body and mind, and experience profound spiritual growth, whether observed through fasting or participating in the Ekadashi Homam. This day offers a chance to detach from the distractions of the material world and realign oneself with higher spiritual goals. I encourage everyone to approach Ekadashi with devotion, love, and an open heart. The benefits of fasting, both scientifically and spiritually, are immense, and when combined with practices like the Ekadashi Homam, it becomes a powerful tool for inner transformation and holistic well being. Namaste and Jai Gurudev, and thank you for joining us today. We are here to discuss the significance of Ekadashi and the associated rituals, particularly the Ekadashi Homam performed in the presence of His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji at the Pratap Ganapati Temple. Can you begin by explaining the concept of Ekadashi and its importance in the Vedic tradition? Namaste and Jai Gurudev, and thank you for inviting me. Ekadashi, which literally means the 11th, is observed on the 11th day of each lunar fortnight in the Hindu calendar. There are a total of 24 Ekadashis in a year, and they hold great spiritual significance in the Vedic tradition. The purpose of observing Ekadashi is to help purify the mind and body, elevate one's spiritual consciousness, and remove karmic blockages. Fasting on Ekadashi is not just about abstaining from food, but is seen as a way to enhance one's focus, discipline, and connection to the divine. It is also believed that fasting helps cleanse the body and the mind, creating a space for deeper meditation and spiritual practice. Devotees typically observed a strict regimen of prayer, chanting, and meditation on these days. Could you also tell us more about the rituals and homas performed during Ekadashi and how does Ekadashi Homam, particularly in the presence of His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji, contribute to the overall experience? Yes, the Ekadashi Homam is a significant part of the spiritual practices surrounding Ekadashi. The Homam or the Yajna is a fire ritual where offerings are made to the sacred fire, invoking divine blessings and purifying the surroundings. At Pratap Ganapati Temple, under the guidance of His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji, the Ekadashi Homam takes on a unique and powerful form. The Homam is performed with great reverence and involves a chanting of sacred mantras, offering ghee, grains, and other sacred materials into the fire. These offerings symbolize a surrender of the ego and the worldly attachments. His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji's presence during the Homam amplifies its spiritual significance. His blessings help invoke higher energies, creating a sacred atmosphere that supports the devotees in their spiritual growth. In addition to the Homam, there are meditative practices and chanting of specific mantras like the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya mantra, which resonates with the energies of Ekadashi. Gurudev often emphasizes the importance of internal purity during Ekadashi and teaches methods like Sudarshan Kriya and Pranayama, which further enhance the purification process. That sounds like a deeply transformative experience. Can you elaborate on the benefits of fasting and the spiritual outcomes that practitioners experience on Ekadashi? Yes, fasting on Ekadashi is said to cleanse both the body and the mind. The practice of fasting, when done with the right intention, brings several benefits from a spiritual perspective. Fasting helps to reduce the distractions of the material world, which often hinder one's meditation and connection to the divine. It creates a space for mindfulness and greater self awareness. The sacred text tells us that fasting helps remove negative energies and impurities, leading to inner peace and clarity. Physiologically, fasting also has numerous benefits. Research shows that fasting can help improve digestion, boost metabolism, and support cellular repair. It is believed that during a fast, the body's energies are conserved, allowing for enhanced cognitive function, emotional balance, and a deeper connection to one's spiritual practices. Many people report feeling lighter, more focused, and spiritually elevated after fasting on Ekadashi. For those who observe the fast with devotion and discipline, the results are transformative, not just physically, but in terms of emotional and spiritual growth. Now, I would like to touch upon the scientific aspect of fasting, especially Ekadashi fasting. How can the scientific and medicinal community view fasting from a health perspective? Fasting has been a subject of study in modern discipline and medicine, and various scientific research papers have shown that fasting can have numerous health benefits. Intermittent fasting, which shares principles with Ekadashi fasting, has been shown to improve metabolic health, regulate blood sugar levels, and promote weight loss. From a cellular perspective, fasting triggers autophagy, a process where body removes damaged cells and regenerates new ones. This process can help in improving skin health, boosting immunity, and even potentially delaying the aging process. Moreover, fasting helps in reducing inflammation, which is linked to various chronic diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and even cancer. The practices associated with Ekadashi fasting, such as mindfulness, meditation, and reduced food intake, also help in reducing stress and promoting mental clarity. These benefits are supported by studies on mindfulness and meditation, which have been shown to lower cortisol levels and enhance emotional regulation. So, the scientific and spiritual aspects of Ekadashi fasting align in many ways, offering a holistic approach to health and wellness. It is fascinating to see how the ancient tradition of Ekadashi fasting aligns with the modern scientific understanding. To conclude, could you share some insights into the role of Ekadashi in the lives of devotees who regularly observe it? Yes, Ekadashi is not merely a religious observance, it is a lifestyle that cultivates discipline, mindfulness, and spiritual awareness. Devotees who regularly observe Ekadashi experience profound transformations in their lives. For some, it brings clarity in their thoughts and actions, while for others, it helps in overcoming emotional hurdles and purifying past karmas. The observance of Ekadashi provides an opportunity to reset one's life, detached from the distractions of the material world, and connect with the divine. His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji often speaks about the importance of creating a regular spiritual practice, and Ekadashi is an excellent opportunity for people to deepen their connection to their spiritual essence. The collective energy during the Ekadashi homams and meditative practices at the Pratap Ganapati temple creates an atmosphere of profound peace and healing which reverberates in the lives of all those who participate. It helps devotees not only achieve spiritual growth but also experience greater health, harmony, and balance in their day to day lives. Namaste, Jai Gurudev, and thank you for joining us today. We are eager to learn more about Ekadashi and its spiritual significance. Could you please explain the concept of Ekadashi and its importance in Vedic traditions? Namaste and Jai Gurudev. It is a pleasure to speak with you about Ekadashi, a sacred observance that holds deep significance in the Vedic tradition. Ekadashi is observed on the 11th day of both the waxing and waning phases of the moon, making a total of 24 Ekadashis in a year. Each of these days is seen as an opportunity to purify oneself through fasting meditation and devotion. The word Ekadashi translates to the 11th, signifying the 11th day. In the Hindu tradition, Ekadashi is viewed as a day of spiritual renewal. It is said that observing Ekadashi and fasting on this day helps cleanse the mind and body, aids in spiritual progress, and contributes to reducing negative karmas. The practice of fasting on Ekadashi has been passed down through generations and is believed to have a profound impact on one's spiritual health. This is not just a ritualistic observance, but a means of aligning oneself with divine energies. Could you explain how the Ekadashi Homam fits into the observance of Ekadashi and its significance, especially in the context of Pratap Ganapati Temple and His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji's guidance? Absolutely. Ekadashi Homam is a ritual performed on Ekadashi days where offerings are made to the sacred fire to invoke divine blessings and purify the environment. The fire is considered a medium to release offerings and it symbolizes the destruction of impurities, both physical and spiritual. At the Pratapa Ganapati temple during Ekadashi Homams, devotees gather to participate in a highly charged spiritual experience under the guidance of His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji. These homams are much more than just fire rituals. The presence of Gurudev elevates the entire practice and amplifies the spiritual energy in the surroundings. He leads the congregation in chanting specific mantras and encourages deep meditative focus during the homam. The Ekadashi homam typically involves the recitation of mantras from the Vedic texts, invoking the blessings of Lord Vishnu and seeking his guidance for a peaceful and prosperous life. Offerings like ghee, grains, and sacred herbs are placed into the fire while the chants fill the air, enhancing the atmosphere of devotion and spiritual purity. His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji often emphasizes the role of meditation and internal purity. In these practices, he encourages participants to not just focus on the external ritual, but to go inward through practices like Sudarshan Kriya, which is deeply effective in purifying the mind and rejuvenating the body. This comprehensive approach combines the physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of a devotee's life, making Ekadashi Homam at the Pratapa Ganapati temple truly transformative. It sounds like a deeply spiritual practice. Now, could you share with us the scientific benefits of fasting, especially in relation to Ekadashi fasting? Yes, Ekadashi fasting has a richer scientific foundation, particularly in the context of the body's natural rhythm. Fasting, when done with the right intention and under proper guidance, offers several health benefits that have been corroborated by modern scientific research. From a physiological perspective, fasting is known to trigger autophagy, a natural process where the body cleanses itself by breaking down and recycling damaged or dysfunctional cells. This is beneficial for cellular regeneration and overall health. Studies have shown that fasting can also help reduce inflammation, which is a major contributor to chronic diseases like diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and even cancer. Moreover, intermittent fasting, which shares principles with Ekadashi fasting, has been linked to improve insulin sensitivity and better regulation of blood sugar levels. This has significant implications for managing metabolic health and preventing diabetes. Fasting on Ekadashi not only helps detoxify the body but also provides a mental and emotional reset. The reduction in food intake leads to better mental clarity and heightened focus. During fasting, when energy is not diverted towards digestion, the body can direct its resources towards healing and rejuvenation. On a spiritual level, fasting aligns with the body's natural circadian rhythm, which enhances a person's connection to divine energies. Ekadashi fasting, when combined with meditation and prayer, helps purify the mind and remove emotional blockages, which contributes to greater emotional well being and peace of mind. That is fascinating. It seems that the practices of fasting and meditation complement each other beautifully. How does Ekadashi help in the spiritual evolution of a devotee? Ekadashi is considered a golden opportunity for spiritual growth. Regular observation of Ekadashi fosters discipline and mindfulness, both of which are essential for spiritual development. The act of fasting helps remove distractions and attachments, allowing a devotee to focus solely on prayer, meditation, and spiritual practices. On a deeper level, fasting purifies the mind, allowing one to experience heightened states of consciousness. According to ancient scriptures, when the body is clean and tight, the mind can transcend ordinary thoughts and enter higher realms of awareness. Ekadashi thus acts as a catalyst for self realization and spiritual awakening. His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji frequently emphasizes that Ekadashi is not just about fasting but about connecting with one's inner self. He teaches that by engaging in breath based practices like Sudarshan Kriya and practicing gratitude and devotion, a devotee can achieve a state of inner calm, which is the ultimate goal of spiritual life. In his guidance, His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji highlights that Ekadashi is a time for self reflection. The energy from the homam combined with meditation creates an environment conducive to spiritual growth. It's about inner peace, self discipline, and ultimately realizing the divine presence within. Before we conclude, could you share some additional insights about a 24 Ekadashi and how each one has its unique significance or ritual? Each of the 24 Ekadashis throughout the year has its own specific significance, aligning with various celestial events or gods. For example, some Ekadashis are associated with Lord Vishnu, while others are linked with Lord Shiva, Lord Krishna, or other deities. Each Ekadashi has unique mantras and prayers associated with it, depending on the energy of the times. For example, the Ramnavami Ekadashi celebrates the birth of Lord Ram. The Vaikuntha Ekadashi is considered one of the most auspicious days and is linked to Lord Vishnu's abode. The Madhava Ekadashi, dedicated to Lord Vishnu. This Ekadashi is associated with devotion and fasting. The Shabari Ekadashi is associated with the story of Shabari, a devoted woman saint, and the Harivamsa Ekadashi is dedicated to Lord Vishnu and is considered particularly beneficial for attaining liberation. Jai Gurudev, Namaste, and thank you for joining us today. In the Ekadashi holds a special place in the hearts of millions of people worldwide. Can you start by explaining the concept of Ekadashi and its spiritual significance? Namaste and Jai Gurudev, and thank you for inviting me. Yes, Ekadashi is a sacred observance that falls on the 11th day of each lunar fortnight in the Hindu calendar, making a total of 24 Ekadashis throughout the year. The term Ekadashi translates to the 11th and signifies the 11th day of the lunar cycle. Each Ekadashi holds a unique importance in different aspects of life, and it is considered a day to purify oneself spiritually and physically through fasting, prayer, and meditation. The observance of Ekadashi dates back to the Vedic times and has been practiced by millions of devotees to cleanse the mind, body, and soul. This practice is also deeply connected to the lunar cycle, though as the 11 days believed to have a particularly auspicious energy. It is said that fasting and devotion on this day help purify negative karmas, create spiritual alignment, and lead to inner peace and progress on the spiritual path. Can you explain how the Ekadashi Humam fits into the broader practice of Ekadashi and what is its significance, especially in the context of Pratap Ganapati Temple and His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji's guidance? Absolutely, the Ekadashi Humam is a sacred fire ritual performed to invoke divine blessings and purify the surroundings. A Homam or Yagya, in essence, is a fire ceremony where sacred offerings such as ghee, grains, and herbs are offered into the fire while mantras are recited. This process helps in removing impurities from the environment and our own beings, both physically and spiritually. Yes, at the Pratapa Ganapati temple, the Ekadashi Homam is elevated to a higher level under the guidance of Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji. His Holiness's presence is key to creating an atmosphere that resonates with divine energy. He not only leads the Homam with his wisdom, but also encourages deep meditation, like breathing exercises like Sudarshan Kriya and other practices that support the cleansing process. The ritual itself is an offering to Lord Vishnu, who is the presiding deity of Ekadashi. It is said that observing Ekadashi Homam helps devotees connect with Vishnu's divine energy, leading to spiritual purification and prosperity. The chanting of mantras such as the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya invokes the presence of the divine, and when performed in the presence of Gurudev, it multiplies the benefits of all participants. The Ekadashi Homams at the temple are particularly unique because they combine traditional fire rituals with modern spiritual practices. Through Gurudev's guidance, participants are encouraged not only to offer external prayers but also to engage in inner purification through Sudarshan Kriya and other breathwork practices which purify the mind, body, and spirit. This sounds like a very holistic approach to spiritual and physical well being. Could you tell us more about the scientific and medicinal benefits of fasting on Ekadashi and how do these align with modern research? Yes, the scientific and medicinal benefits of fasting, especially as practiced during Ekadashi, are well documented in both modern medicine and ancient practices. Fasting on Ekadashi is not just a spiritual practice, but also has profound physiological effects. The detoxification and autophagy. One of the key scientific benefits of fasting is the process of autophagy, where the body breaks down and removes dysfunctional or damaged cells. Fasting helps stimulate this process, which can rejuvenate the body by removing toxins, repairing damaged tissues, and improving the cell health. Research on intermittent fasting, which shares principles with Ekadashi fasting, has shown that it can promote better cellular health, improve longevity, and potentially remove and reduce the risk of age related diseases. And then there is improved metabolism. Fasting on Ekadashi has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity and help regulate blood sugar levels. Studies have shown that fasting can support weight management, enhance metabolism, and reduce the risk of metabolic diseases such as the type 2 diabetes. During fasting, the body shifts from using glucose as its primary energy source to burning fat, which helps in weight reduction and metabolic balance. Then the mental clarity and emotional balance. Fasting also has profound effects on mental health. Many practitioners of Ekadashi fasting report feeling a sense of clarity, focus, and emotional balance. This aligns with research showing that fasting, especially when combined with practices like meditation, can help reduce stress, lower cortisol levels, and improve cognitive function. Furthermore, fasting enhances the ability to focus and connect with deeper spiritual states. Also, it also helps improve the immune system. Fasting boosts the body's immune system by reducing inflammation. Chronic inflammation is often linked to conditions such as cardiovascular disease, arthritis, and cancer. By promoting anti inflammatory responses, fasting helps in reducing the risk of chronic illnesses. Fasting on Ekadashi allows the body to rest and reset, improving overall immune function. Then the connection to the body's natural rhythm. Fasting on Ekadashi aligns with the body's natural circadian rhythms, which supports a better sleep, energy regulation, and overall health. By fasting in sync with the lunar cycles, devotees allow their bodies to naturally detoxify, rejuvenate, and realign with the cosmic rhythms, thereby enhancing their spiritual and physical health. That's incredible connection between ancient spiritual practices and modern scientific understanding. Now, regarding the 24 Ekadashis, how are they different from one another? And could you elaborate on their individual significance and the specific rituals associated with each one? Yes, the 24 Ekadashis throughout the year are spread across the two lunar months, once during the waxing moon or the Shukla Paksha, and one during the waning moon or the Krishna Paksha. Each Ekadashi has its own unique significance, and the rituals are often specific to the particular Ekadashi being observed. Some of the most one famous ones include the Vaikunta Ekadashi. It is basically in December, January. This is considered one of the holiest Ekadashis dedicated to Lord Vishnu. Devotees believe that worshipping Lord Vishnu on this day helps them attain liberation and reach the heavenly abode of Vaikuntha. Then the Madhava Ekadashi, which is celebrated to honor Lord Vishnu. This Ekadashi is associated with purity and devotion. It is believed that observing this fast will free the devotion from all sins. Then there is the Harivamsa Ekadashi. This Ekadashi is related to the story of King Yudhishthir from the Mahabharata. It is considered a day to cleanse the mind and purify the soul. Then there is a Shabari Ekadashi. This Ekadashi between January and February is associated with the story of Shabari, a devoted woman saint in the Ramayana. It is a day dedicated to devotion and unwavering faith in God. Then there is a Ramanavami Ekadashi. The day marks the birth of Lord Ram and is a particularly auspicious day for fasting and worshipping Lord Vishnu in his incarnation as Rama. Each of these Ekadashis holds its own unique significance and is connected to specific deities, events, or stories from Hindu scriptures. The rituals vary, but they generally involve fasting, chanting specific mantras, performing homas, as we discussed, and offering prayers to seek divine blessings. Thank you so much for the detailed explanation. Finally, could you summarize the impact of Ekadashi homams, especially in the presence of His Holiness Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar Ji, on the lives of devotees? Yes, the Ekadashi homams, especially when performed under the guidance of His Holiness Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar Ji, are incredibly transformative. The energy generated in such spiritual gatherings helps devotees experience deep purification, heightened awareness, and a stronger connection to the divine nature. Devotees who participate in these homams often report profound experiences both physically and spiritually. The rituals create an environment of peace, clarity, and healing. Gurudev's teachings emphasize that it's not just about the external rituals, but about internal transformation. His guidance, along with the powerful spiritual tools like Sudarshan Kriya and meditation, makes Ekadashi an opportunity for both material and spiritual growth. Though, and through the collective energy of these rituals, devotees experience a shift in their consciousness. The benefits are felt in their physical health, emotional well being, and spiritual progress. The Ekadashi homams help them navigate life's challenges with more grace, balance, and joy. Jai Gurudev.